All right, this is our first time trying this. We're going to do this for the NFL season. Hi, this is the Assist Sports Podcast. This is our 2019. Hope you enjoy it. It's our opinions on the season. And what do you say, EJ? Let's just go ahead and get this started. What do you think?
Hello all. This is one of those videos I've been looking forward to doing for a while. Just a few things I want to throw out before we get into this. I wanted to just throw out there, thank you for the support for those two that we've already put up on our YouTube. We plan to have another one coming out probably later tonight, if I'm correct. Is that right?
Yeah, we have a live show.
Yes. We have another live show coming up. There's going to be a lot of controversy in this video because this is the NFL. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're going to talk about it all. One quick disclaimer. If we do not say that your team is going to win the division, we're sorry. This is what we think is going to happen. We're sorry for the hurt feelings of people if we don't choose your team to win the Super Bowl, because it can't happen to everybody.
Right.
Cool.
That's right.
All right. And
That's
also, visual assist. This board, which
is flipped around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll scrap the board.
Hey, this is a new thing. We're not used to this at all. Okay.
That totally flipped it around, but
that's okay. That's all right. It's all right.
That's very funny.
So let's talk.
Yeah, very good. So this is it's going to be a really interesting season. Just talking about a lot of stuff happened in the off season. I mean, there was even some trades over the weekend. By the Texans and some other stuff. So, I mean, it's really interesting that we're going to be able to see, talk about a lot of things that are going to happen this season and do them here in advance. And just, it's going to be a lot of good stuff that we'll be able to do for you. We want to hop right into it. We have a lot to cover, and we want to have an opportunity to throw some curveballs in there too, to use a baseball term.
That happened today.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, there's some curveballs. Well, and we have that for our reference down there. So, I think what we'll do is we'll go division by division, and we'll talk briefly.
Yes, briefly.
We have a lot going on.
There's a lot.
Through each division, and just talk a little bit about it. Then we're going to do our division and wild card picks for conference champs, and then we're going to do who we think is going to win it all.
Yes.
So it's going to be really, really interesting who's going to win Super Bowl 54.
And we understand that we haven't even played a game yet.
Yeah, well,
things could change.
First game's in under 2 hours, so that's why we're getting this done now.
That is Green Bay and Chicago, for those who do not know.
Yep, there we go. So let's get right to it. So let's start. Let's start in the NFC.
Yeah, that's actually
starting in the NFC. So let's go and we'll get this out of the way here. NFC East.
Who's going to win?
NFC East, and well, it's interesting with Zeke. That whole situation kind of coming to a rest here. That's very interesting. It looks like the Giants will be a little bit better than last year. And with Ezekiel Elliott, the Cowboys, obviously if they're healthy, they're always a good team. I do not think Washington is a good team at all. And the Eagles are the Eagles, guys. They're not far removed from a Super Bowl championship. So it's an interesting division. I mean, is there anything else that you see out of the NFC East that's noteworthy?
There's one thing I'm going to talk about for the Eagles. I don't understand why they didn't do this, because I was watching the preseason. No, I know it's a preseason, whatever. Well, I really think that Carson Wentz is going to be good this year, but he's not going to be as good as, because they didn't really put him in during preseason, and we haven't been able to see it. But
he's been hurt.
He's always hurt.
He's not even started a playoff game yet.
Yeah.
They won a Super Bowl, and he didn't even start, and he got him there, but Foles was the one who won him the Super Bowl, and he's not there anymore. They don't have the security blanket with Foles anymore, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. But listen, Carson Wentz, I think this is a make it or break it year for his career.
Oh, I agree.
It is. He doesn't do good here. I could see the Eagles saying, you either wake up or bye-bye, Felicia. I think it's going to happen. A bold statement, and I like Carson Wentz as a football player, and he's a nice guy. But I think he needs this is his season to prove it.
I think
he's made of glass though, which is sad.
Yeah, that's too bad. What does that say for the Eagles' offensive line too? Like they didn't short up, and a lot of other things going on there. So,
but Eagles.
So that's just a good little shot at the East. Who do you think's going to win the East?
It'll be a toss-up between the Eagles and the Giants, and I think that the Eagles are going to win.
Okay.
I like the Giants' chances of making noise, though.
Okay. I don't like the Giants' chances at all of even getting to 500.
I like them. I do.
I don't.
Saquon. I'm sorry.
Okay, and I'll counter that with 8 men in the box, and they're just going to stop the run. The Giants, it's all going to be on their new young quarterback, and I just don't know that they get it done. I think the Eagles win easily. I think they are going to be 2 games clear. The only team that I think has a shot at knocking them off, and again, everything has to go right for them, it's Dallas. And I don't like Dallas, but it's got to be Dallas. If everything goes right for them, they're good. They're a good team. But I think it's the Eagles, and I'm not sure that it's really close.
Yeah.
So I got the Eagles.
That was the one surprise. That was one of the surprises that I have in my picks.
Okay.
I got a feeling. I think the Giants are like.
Then pick them for the wild card. When we get around to that.
You know what? They may actually end up being the wild card, but I think everybody's sleeping on them.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm sleeping on them. They're not very good. How about the NFC South? What do you think? What do you like about the NFC South?
New Orleans. That's what I like about the NFC South.
I agree.
Tampa Bay, no. Carolina, Cam Newton's out. No. Atlanta, questionable wild card. Probably not. Yeah. That's my look at this. New Orleans by a long shot winning this.
Yeah,
it's not a question.
I think you're right. I think New Orleans wins this one as well, and I think Atlanta is going to catch some fire. They are a good team. I think they're going to catch some fire. I think they're going to win the wild card. I think they're going to be one of the wild cards coming out of the NFC. So that's pretty good. And I think that the window is nearly done with Drew Brees. It really is. He's how much longer can he go?
He's getting older.
And I love him.
That's a question
great.
In the future for 2 other quarterbacks we will run into. Sorry to interrupt. 2 quarterbacks. We will be asking that question once we're about to wrap up. Once we get through our predictions.
All right. Well, let's get down there.
Let's get through.
So how about the NFC North? So this and again, these North divisions, both conferences are black and blue. It's the black and blue division. These teams just beat the heck out of each other. You got Chicago, Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit. I think you got to have to obviously you got to set Detroit aside. I don't think they just don't have the skill players. I don't think they do it.
Experience for them.
It's going to be a tough year. Minnesota, if everything goes right for Minnesota, honestly, it's funny because they could be all over the place. They could have 6 wins. They could have 12 wins. It depends on what goes right. Green Bay, it's real simple. Is Aaron Rodgers healthy?
Yes.
If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, they could make a lot of noise. The problem is, sorry, Green Bay fans, I don't think he's going to stay healthy this year. I think it's going to start tonight. I think Chicago is the winner of this division. I think the only thing that hurt them last year, honestly, was their kicking game. Now, they did lose their defensive coordinator. I get it. But they're a solid team.
Yeah.
They're a solid team. They're pretty well coached. Trubisky's playing well.
Yes.
They've got some good offensive weapons.
True.
And I think Chicago wins this division. And I believe also that if Dallas doesn't get the other wild card for whatever reason, I think it's Chicago wins the division, and I think Minnesota gets the other wild card. What do you think?
Chicago wins the division. And I've been thinking about this now. This playoff format's different than hockey format. I love doing NHL, just random playoff brackets. When football, it's a little weird. It's a little different for me. So, but I like Chicago's chances of winning the entire thing because let's just be honest. All they have to do is ding up Green Bay tonight, and Green Bay will just be like a balloon that's trying to float but has a hole in the side of it. And
it's very true. That's a great analogy.
And so,
every time Aaron Rodgers has gotten hurt, it's been really early in the season. It has been early. Within the first 3-4 games, he gets hurt, and then all of a sudden, Green Bay's scrambling and trying to figure out what to do.
I made a mistake of picking him on my football team when he got hurt against the Bears. Was it last year or the year before that he got hit really hard, like his second play into the game, and he got hit really hard by was it, Khalil Mack?
Yeah,
and just boom.
It could be. Yeah,
what was it? Collarbone or something? And I just remember it was.
I don't recall. I don't recall it.
It was just boom, done.
Let's move on to the NFC West now. And another really interesting what's that?
Dude, I think it was his leg now I'm thinking about it. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Leg. Listen, he's Rodgers. How many injuries has he come back from?
He's great,
It's crazy.
He's a good quarterback. He just gets hurt. He's like Carson Wentz. He just gets hurt.
Just stop for just a second. Aaron Rodgers is an all-time great.
Yes.
Okay, there's not even a question. We love Aaron Rodgers. He's awesome. But it's going to be whether or not he stays healthy, and I just don't think he will. NFC West, interesting division. What's your thoughts?
Rams all the way, but they are going to have some people that they're going to have to shake off the leg, also known as the Seattle Seahawks. San Francisco, no. Arizona, Kyler Murray probably won't help you. No. Rams win this division, and I think that we could potentially see them go back to the Super Bowl ?
Yeah, I don't know.
Things got to go well for them, though.
You're going to have to make the call when it comes time for the picks. In the NFC West, for me, I believe the Rams are going to win it as well. I don't think San Francisco has quite enough.
Not yet.
Garoppolo hasn't proven anything to me yet. Inconsistent preseason, whatever. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. It could be weird. He could come out and light the world on fire, and we could all say, okay, Garoppolo, he was the real deal. That's why they traded for him. But, I don't know that they're any more than an 8-8 team if they make 500. Seattle has a chance to make some noise. The problem is that secondary, and you never, ever count Pete Carroll out with a secondary. He really puts a secondary together. They just traded for Jadeveon Clowney, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens on that whole thing. Arizona, I think, is one of the worst teams in the league. And our good pal, Terrell Suggs, have fun down in Arizona. Not going to win many games down there, Terrell. But I think the Rams win this one. Now, caveat. The Rams win this one as long as
Jared Goff stays healthy.
Right. And as long as their running game stays healthy. Those two things have to happen. Their defense is going to be fine. Wade Phillips is the coordinator.
I love him so much. He's so funny to watch, dude.
And they've lost some guys on defense, but they just continue to plug and move. Wade Phillips is really good. He's been doing it for years. So the Rams. AFC. Let's move over. AFC East. So let's do AFC East. I don't know that this one is real difficult, but there's some interesting things in there. I'll talk for just 30 seconds on this. Obviously, New England is the class of the division. They're defending Super Bowl champs.
Again.
But at some point,
point,
Brady's got to not keep it going. I don't know if that's this year or not. Is Josh Gordon going to be a cancer up at that team? And now they brought him in. Are they going to be able to get it done on defense? I love that first week game with the Steelers coming in. I think the Steelers are going to be fired up. There could be some injuries from that game. I don't know that New England, doesn't have some guys hurt from that game. But I will tell you this. Everybody's going, the Jets. I think Jets are an 8-8 or less team, guys. Sorry, I think Buffalo is better than them. And I think Miami is really, really bad. They are not good. They will be good because of the trades that they made over the weekend and picked up more draft picks, and they're building a good young team. I think in 2 to 3 years, Miami is going to be strong again because you can start to see Brady can't play forever, guys. Like, he's not Lazarus.
He's not.
Batman had Ra's al Ghul, who used to go to the Lazarus pit and just regenerate. And unless Brady has bought himself a Lazarus pit, he can't just keep doing it. He can't. So, and you don't count the guy out. He is phenomenal. He is an all-time great. I mean, the stories are legendary about the guy, but at some point he's got to fail. I don't think it's this year, but I think you're going to start to see signs that he fades a bit. But I do like New England in that one. Buffalo could surprise. What's your thoughts?
New England's going to win this division. No wild card in this division.
Yeah, I think so too.
Though
Buffalo could make some noise.
Buffalo could make noise, but I just don't think so. It's weird.
There's got to be some other stuff happen. You know what I mean? There's too many other teams out there.
Let's just not forget the time that Buffalo made the playoffs. What was it? Not even last year, 2 years ago, Al.
Right.
And
right.
Cincinnati went into Baltimore and beat them.
That's right.
Now, at the beginning of that season, if you were to tell me before I watched the first game of the season, was watching the first games, if you were to tell me Buffalo is going to make the playoffs that year, I would have told you are insane in the membrane.
Yeah, right.
Let me tell you something. That's where we're at right now. I'm not saying that they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But we never thought that last time, and they came out and were just like, surprise.
Yeah,
So.
Definite. Okay. All right, so let's move to the AFC South. And again, some very, very interesting developments in this division in the offseason and really recently in the offseason too with Indianapolis. What's your thoughts on that division?
When it comes down to that, I mean, there's a lot that Indianapolis lost, as in their quarterback. Mr. Luck, we love him. I feel bad. I feel really bad that he was supposed to leave. Man.
Yeah, listen.
And I'm going to shout it out right now. For all of you who booed him.
Oh, shame on you.
Shame on
all of you.
That is not right.
You should be fortunate you had a guy.
Yeah.
A class guy of that caliber in there.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously,
I'm sorry.
You did not walk a mile in his shoes. You have no idea what he went through. So, the guy may never ever be healthy again. How many concussions? He didn't even talk about the concussions that he had, folks. I mean, come on. So, am I pleased that he retired? No, I'm not. I'm not pleased that he retired. Would love to have seen him play some more. Do I disagree with what he did? Absolutely not. He did what he needed to do. He did what he needed to do. Yeah, seriously. Sorry. You didn't walk a mile in his shoes. You don't get the right to decide for him what he does and what he doesn't do.
Jacksonville's also in this division.
Yep.
Tennessee, not much happening there this year. Houston, on the other hand,
yes,
they could do some stuff. I thought I went out on a limb. I was at this time I thought I was going out on a limb, but now I think it was a great choice by choosing Deshaun Watson as my quarterback.
Yeah,
for my fantasy draft, and here's exactly why. He's got some people around him.
Yes,
he does. He may be playing in Houston. And it's not like he's playing in New England where he's got people like Edelman, and then he's got people.
Yeah.
Well, Gronk not anymore, but at the time, like Gronk, he's got everybody running around. He can throw to like Brady, but he knows how to connect with passes. There are passes that he's been. Remember when we played them? Pittsburgh played Houston. We were beating them.
Mm-hmm.
He would go out there and he would connect a pass that you'd be like, how did he get that off? There were 3 people there.
He's definitely got some talent.
He's got some talent. He knows what he's doing, folks.
It's true.
And I'll tell you something. He's part of the new generation of quarterbacks. When Brady, Roethlisberger, and Rodgers, when they're all gone, it's going to be him.
Yep.
He's going to be one of them. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he could be.
He's something.
He could be. Who are you picking in the division?
I'm thinking Jacksonville's going to win this division.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Well,
that's the other stunner that I had.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Indianapolis obviously took a hit. Now they could bounce back, okay, because they had a lot going there. Okay, they had some tools, they had some things going for them. I don't think Tennessee's going to do much of anything this year. It's too bad because I like Mariota. I do. I like him.
He's a good guy.
But here's the other thing. Jacksonville is going to one of the tougher defenses in the league. They're really good. And they just picked up another guy that I really, really like, and that's Nick Foles.
Yeah.
And
Nick Foles.
we'll see if he can do anything down there. I love him. If Fournette's healthy, and they've got some other receiving weapons. That's great.
Jacksonville.
But I think Houston's winning this division, and I think this is going to be one of the tighter division races. I think it'd be Houston and Jacksonville going down it. I think Houston's going to win it. I think Jacksonville's going to get the wild card, and they're going to be a tough out because everybody knows defense wins championships is what they all say, and I don't always agree. That can go a long way to help you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the AFC West. Let me touch base on this one a little bit. So, silly number 84 out in Oakland, set him aside because we have a poll question later that we're going to talk about him specifically, and that's Antonio Brown.
Shame.
But I don't think they're doing much this year. I really don't. My God, I don't think so.
If Derek Carr gets hurt, like I'm thinking he's going to,
they're done. They're done. Denver. Honestly, they always seem to find a running game, so they're going to run the ball. They brought in Joe Flacco.
Delaware alumni.
Yeah.
Let's go.
and listen, Joe, love you more that you're not on the Ravens anymore because we really don't like the Ravens. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. This is a tough division,
yeah,
because
it's gonna be tough
the other two teams in there are both
really
certain Super Bowl contenders. Both of them are. For the Chargers, the biggest thing is health. And guys like Melvin Gordon sitting out and demanding money. And Melvin, earth to Melvin.
Play football.
Earth to Melvin. Get on the field if you want to get paid. Le'Veon Bell took a lot less money from the Jets. How stupid. Get on the field. You haven't even
you're worth the money.
Honestly, you're a good back, but you've struggled to stay healthy. Get on the field and play ball. Here's the thing. Chargers, if they are healthy as a team, they can win 13 games. They are really, really good. Okay?
Yeah, I could see that.
Here's the problem.
Father Phil.
They have 2 games in the division against who I think is
winning.
Probably the toughest team in the AFC right now, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
And I think Mahomes will have a fall off a little tiny bit this year, but he's still going to have a great year.
Yes.
They shored up their defense more so than it was. And they could have had the Patriots. They could have beat them. I mean, man, what a great playoff game that was. I'll tell you what, Championship Sunday last year, phenomenal Championship Sunday. What 2 fantastic games. And I expect no less. You got a good team in Kansas City. So I think in this division, I think I've got Kansas City and I've got the Chargers as wild card. What are your thoughts?
I can't argue with that. I really, really can't.
Yep.
I mean, Kansas City, electric team, electric fans, loudest stadium in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
Not a question.
Hardest place to play.
People say New Orleans. Nah. You got to go to a playoff game.
Arrowhead.
Because we try to watch on the TV and we can't even hear them.
Oh,
it's so loud.
It's bad when it's an outdoor stadium and teams have to spend the week preparing for the noise because they know how loud it's going to be. It's bad. Seattle, 12th man.
New Orleans.
Arrowhead.
No.
Arrowhead.
Yes.
Arrowhead. Toughest place to play. Last division.
Yeah, Kansas.
Our division. AFC North. Another black and blue division.
I'm going to let you go on this one. I have to let you go on this one first.
All right. Make this real simple. Cincinnati is going to be terrible. They're going to win 4 games, I think. Yeah. Cleveland, a lot of hype. Odell Beckham Jr.
Too many brutes on that team.
Well, I don't know. Listen, So I think it works for them, though. I think because of Baker Mayfield, it works. Now, here's the thing. I really like Baker Mayfield a lot.
Yeah.
I really like him. Here's the problem. I hear that he gets a little too fired up and he upsets people. Now, it's going to be the dynamic with Baker Mayfield and his receivers. And guess what? I think that Nick Chubb is going to have a big year running the ball. I think he's going to have a great year running the ball. And their defense, we know how their defense is.
Yes.
Just tough and very underrated. Real tough defense in a tough division. Then there's Baltimore. And Baltimore is remaking their team a little bit right now. They lost guys on defense. They lost Suggs. They lost C.J. Mosley. They got rid of Flacco. But they feel like they know what they're doing in their secondary, albeit young, should be pretty good. So I think Cleveland and Baltimore are going to slug it out, but I think the Steelers ultimately win this division. And I don't think I think it's just one of those, it's on again, off again for Steelers. We're Steeler fans. We'll just throw it out there. We're Steeler fans.
We're not being biased.
Okay? Here's the thing. The Steelers, honestly, and everyone laughs at me, but if you're a Steeler fan, you'll agree with me. The Steelers will be better without Le'Veon Bell and without Antonio Brown. I think Juju is going to have the yardage, lead the league in yards receiving. I think Connor is going over 1,000 yards rushing, and even if he gets hurt, Samuels is great.
Jalen Samuels is
okay.
Really cool. I like him.
Here's my surprise player of the year.
Go ahead.
James Washington, the second wide receiver.
I like him too.
I'm going to tell you right now, watch out. He's going to have a great year. He honestly is going to have a great year. Could break 1,000 yards. He could. It depends. Ben is Ben. Like him or hate him, we love him.
Is going to be
and their defense,
Hall of Famer, hands down.
Right. And I'm going to tell you something. The defense, even better. And just look out. Just look out for T.J. Watt. Look out. So I think Pittsburgh wins it. I don't think the wild card comes out of this. I think there's too many injuries, too much black and blue in the division. What's your thoughts? Then we'll do our picks.
Cincinnati going last. Bengals are in last.
Yep.
They're last. What did you want me to say? I mean, nothing there. A.J. Green's going to have a terrible year.
Yeah, he's starting to decline rapidly.
Yeah. I don't even know if Andy Dalton knows how to throw a ball now.
He does, but that's not it. There's so many things wrong with the team.
And you can't throw a ball if your O-line's terrible. You gotta say that. And listen, I'm not saying this. I'm a Steeler fan. I'm not saying this because I hate this team. There are teams I hate more than the Bengals. I'll just say that. And they're not even in our division.
The Ravens and the Cowboys.
Patriots.
And the Patriots.
Yeah. Anyway, but Cincinnati, what are you doing? Wake up. Wake up. Well, don't wake up because don't come after us. But
they're rebuilding. They're going to rebuild. They're
then we got Baltimore.
Oh.
Baltimore coming in third in this division.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
I don't know what the hype is about this, what is it, Lamar Jackson or whatever. This guy throws the ball, okay? And let me tell you something. They lost that game to the Chargers last year in the playoffs, right? Fact check me if I am right.
I don't recall.
I was
a little disappointed going into the playoffs last year.
Going in the playoffs. I know that the Ravens lost, and I believe it was to the Chargers. And I think the Ravens also had a home advantage.
Yeah.
Lamar didn't do nothing in that game.
He had a horrible game. Wait, like 3 completions in through the third quarter. So it's ridiculous bad. Yeah, bad game. Only bright spot of that whole game for the Ravens was the kicker. Yeah. That was it.
Justin Tucker.
He's the best kicker in the league.
Yeah, and then
but Cleveland. That's it. If that's all you got, come on.
Cleveland comes in second.
Yep.
I think that it's too many. There's too many brutes and cool, strong people on this team. You got Odell Beckham, who attention magnet. Then you got Jarvis Landry. Now they used to play together in New York, but I think that it's not going to be let's throw to Odell the entire time and let's throw to Jarvis Landry the entire time. Because you got Baker Mayfield. Look at all the big names. Think into the big names that they have here. They've got Jarvis Landry, they have Odell Beckham Jr., they have Baker Mayfield, they have Nick Chubb, and I think, don't they have somebody else that I'm forgetting? But let me tell you something, that's a lot of big names. Big names that want a lot of attention.
Yeah.
If you've got a lot of them on the same team, they don't play for the team. They play for themselves.
It's true.
It's like, and you know what? Although Baker apparently gets into people's heads and whatever, people get into his head too. He's not going to know what to do. That boy's going to run scared if he's got Odell Beckham coming. You're throwing the ball to me, and then Jarvis Landry, you're throwing the ball to me.
Yeah.
No.
He's got a lot of energy, but he's got a lot to deal with some of these guys. It's going to be tough.
And
I think the most interesting dynamic on that team is Odell and Baker Mayfield. It really is, and I think everybody's talked about it. But you can talk about it some more. It's the most interesting thing about that team to see. We know their defense is going to be good, so they'll stay in games because of the defense.
Yes,
but
and then
you don't win games if your offense implodes because your players are selfish.
Yeah,
and so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then obviously I have the Steelers winning, and I was skeptical at first. After seeing Le'Veon Bell leave and Antonio Brown leave. R.I.P. Moment of silence for the good versions of them. But now they're away. And I think that getting rid of them, although skill-wise, it's not good for us.
I agree.
Locker room-wise, it is amazing.
Yeah, in fact,
I'll tell you right now.
All the reports coming out about the locker room is that it is 1,000 times better.
Yes, and
because guys aren't worried about, is Bell coming in this week? Is he coming in? Is he going to report?
Yeah.
And then you got Brown causing all sorts of issues and all the things that nobody knew about because they hid them. They didn't want them to come out. And wow.
Yeah, guy goes out on
devastatingly bad.
Goes out on Instagram and does all of this stuff. We'll talk about it real quick, maybe at the end of the show. I don't know, but he went out on Instagram, got into a huge fight. He got his you-know-what suspended.
Yep.
What's he going to do now? Now you can't play. I mean, you went through the helmet thing. You went through the I'm holding out, or I'm going to do this. I want all of the money.
That's Oakland.
No.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about him in a minute.
Now
what about the Steelers?
And now we lost all those people, whatever. Skill-wise, no. Whatever. We could have used the skill, but
we reloaded.
But let me tell you something. We did reload, and that's exactly the word I was going to use. James Conner. Love the guy.
Love him. My favorite player on the Steelers, easily.
He knows what he's doing. I was skeptical about him last year. Now, obviously, we didn't make the playoffs, but I was still. But at the beginning of that season, I was skeptical.
It's not because of James Conner that we didn't make the playoffs.
It's not because of him. I think it's this. If James Conner can find the hole, because he was able to do it last year, we know he could. If Juju stays healthy, and Juju communicates with James Washington, and so they run their routes correctly. All Ben's got to do is throw the ball like he normally does. Set.
Yep.
Ben, I'll be the first one to it, as on every one of the other older quarterbacks, he doesn't have cancers on his team anymore.
That's true, and he had his best year ever last year.
Yeah,
seriously,
he did.
Statistically, his best year. Yeah, and you keep getting older.
And he didn't even win a Super Bowl.
Once he's as banged up as he's been over the years. You don't have your best year ever after taking a beating like that for years and years and years. So forget it. So I think Pittsburgh wins it too. Yes,
Pittsburgh's loaded. Love it.
All right, let's do our picks. So, who do you have the AFC East?
AFC East.
You have New England?
New England is making the playoffs.
Okay, so New England, and I also have New England. In the AFC South, I have Houston. Who do you have?
Jacksonville.
In the AFC West, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you have?
Kansas City as well.
Okay, and in the AFC North, I think we both have Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay, who's your wild cards in the AFC?
AFC, Houston and the Chargers.
Yeah, and I have Jacksonville and the Chargers, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I don't think there's too much difficulty with that. I think those picks are really good. Let's go to the NFC quick. Let's wrap this up. NFC East, I've got Eagles. What do you got?
I have the Eagles as well.
Okay. How about the NFC South? Who you got?
Well, I don't even know why I'm thinking about it. Saints.
Yeah, I've got the Saints, and I think it's 12 wins for the Saints. NFC North, I've got the Chicago Bears.
The Bears,
yep.
Yes.
I think they are putting it together. I think they're going to win it. And NFC West,
Rams.
I as well have the Rams. That one could be close. Again, like I said, depending on injuries. Who do you got for wild cards in the NFC?
Seattle, and it's a toss-up between the Falcons and the Giants.
Well,
I'm thinking that it's... Let's just go with it right now and just say the Falcons.
Yeah.
But the Giants don't sleep on them.
Yep, no, I agree. I think that your wild cards from the NFC is Atlanta Falcons, and I think Minnesota is the other one. I think they put it together. I think they're going to stay healthy.
No,
they're going
to
put in Minnesota. Yeah, no. So, and in the NFC, I have the New Orleans Saints winning the conference championship this year. Who do you have?
I have the Rams winning the
Rams.
NFC.
So it sounds like possibly a rematch there?
Not possibly, but not according to my pick. The
I think it could be, man.
The AFC. Listen to this one.
Well, no, I'm talking about the rematch in the conference game because the Rams played the Saints last year.
Oh, in the conference game,
and
yes.
the very controversial pass interference play that wasn't called and all the craziness that ensued after that. What an insane game. And by the way,
on both sides.
Not even it was pass interference. Let's move on. I'm sorry. You can't even question it. It was pass interference.
I can argue on both sides about the entire game, though.
Yeah, I agree. The Saints fans are upset that they think that play cost them the game. No, the play did not cost them the game.
To win the game,
plenty of opportunities. Yes, tight game. You have plenty of opportunities to win it. It's not like it was a blowout. You know, AFC. I've got the Kansas City Chiefs
winning the conference.
Conference. I have the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're going to put it together. I think they're going to stay healthy. I think they're going to win it. I think they're going to. In fact, I'm going to call right now. I don't think New England makes it to the championship game. I think they're going to get knocked off in the divisional round. I think a team like Jacksonville is going to come in and really close game against the Patriots before. And I think this time, they're going to be a bit more healthy. Yeah. They're going to have Foles, and I think they're going to get it done. It's going to be close.
They're going to laugh.
But I think they're going to get it done. Yeah. So I think it's Kansas City, and I think it's New Orleans. Who do you have in the AFC?
The AFC, I have Pittsburgh winning it. But
I hope so.
But wait. New England laughed at us when we lost to Jacksonville in the playoffs. I think Jacksonville comes in to New England and does the same freaking thing.
Yeah.
Right? And no, but this will all play out when
I like your scenario. I like your scenario because the Steelers then get a payback against Jacksonville.
They beat Jacksonville, then they beat Kansas City, but
brutal.
We'll get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I have Kansas City versus New Orleans in the Super Bowl, and here's what I think. I think the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to win it. I think they're going to beat Kansas City. I think it's going to be like a 10-point win for the Saints in the Super Bowl. What do you got?
I'm a Steelers fan, and here's why. The Rams were in the Super Bowl last year. They want one badly.
I'm sure they do.
Badly. The Steelers made it all that far. No way they get through a playoff thing without one of them people getting hurt.
I'm going to give you one caveat to that whole thing, though.
You can go ahead.
The Steelers do play the Rams in the regular season this year.
They
do.
It's
very hard to beat a team twice. We talked about the schedule. I think that's one of the games the Steelers will lose this year. They're going to lose the Rams. But it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season.
I think they beat the Rams during the regular season.
Well,
and then it's going to be a backwards
And I
thing.
understand. But we're going to wait and see what happens. So that's very interesting.
That's it.
Good picks.
Last thing before we shut off. 2 quick questions.
Real quick, yeah.
1. How is the Antonio Brown antics going to affect Oakland?
Oh, I think it's going to... I don't think there'll be a better team with or without him. Honestly, that's just the thing. He's a cancer, guys. This guy's a cancer. And the problem is it's not showing ending anytime soon. There's talk, obviously, if you've seen the news stories today, they're talking about, there's a lot of rumors flying right now. Mike Mayock being the GM doesn't take any nonsense from anybody, apparently. Has fined Brown repeatedly through the preseason and a lot of stuff, skipping practices, walkthroughs, and all sorts of stuff. And that is not a way to ingratiate yourself after you just signed a contract extension with your new team. Silliness. So I think that either way, Oakland's cursed. I think they're in trouble either way. And I think there's a good chance Brown's going to get suspended, maybe just for one game, but he's got problems. There's rumors that the Raiders are going after to try to nullify his contract because of his conduct.
Yeah.
And wow, the guy hasn't even played a game for you, and you're already considering nullifying the contract. This does not look good for Oakland. And by the way, couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of guys. Can't stand the Raiders. What's your thoughts?
I don't hate the Raiders, but I also think that Antonio Brown, they were all like, they were quick out there when Antonio Brown was like trying to leave the Steelers, and he was trying to pull all this stuff with us. And Oakland was like one of the first teams to go out and be like, "Oh, we won him. Yeah. See how that worked out for him.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. They knew. And you know what? I think it was a really stupid move. People really shouldn't have not went after him, and they didn't have him just being like...
Nobody's laughing at the Steelers now for only getting the 3rd and 5th rounder, I think they got for him.
Yeah.
In fact, the Steelers are probably laughing right now going, we got a 3rd rounder and a 5th rounder for him.
Because imagine if Oakland does just as bad as what they did before.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have a higher pick, and we get those picks.
No doubt.
So, but think about it. He's been through all that crap with the Steelers, and they knowingly took him while he was doing this. Then he had the helmet thing. Then he had I'm going to hold out until I get what I want, which wasn't part of the helmet thing. It was more of I want more money, and then that kind of silenced in a day. And you know what? Then the helmet thing came back, and then now he's got this going on. And he's skipping practices.
Oh.
Wow, what a nice guy
He's been doing it forever. The Steelers just covered for it because they thought the guy was performing well. They saw last year. They finally got tired of it. He wasn't complaining. Over-under, I'm saying, if he does play for them this year, over-under, I'm setting it 3 games before he complains that he's not having the ball thrown to him enough, and it's terrible, and whatever. Guy's a loser. See ya, Brown. Goodbye. Don't miss you. Don't miss you at all.
And this is the final question. This is for you guys. This is a yes or no question.
Oh, actually, I have one. If that's a yes or no question for them and they have to answer, that's great. Who's the worst team in the league record-wise all the way around? Who is it?
Oh, for me? Got a toss-up here between Arizona and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no, I think Tampa Bay is going to be a little bit better. I'm going to
go with Arizona.
I think in the NFC it's going to be Arizona. I think in the AFC, unfortunately, for them, I think it's going to be Cincinnati. I think it could be Miami, but I think it's going to be Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And what was your poll question?
Is this Tom Brady's last season?
No, it's not. No one's going to answer that right now. No.
I think he breaks a bone and he's done.
Nope.
End of the season.
Nope. I think he comes back. He's so full of himself. He's going to come back. He absolutely.
I think he's done.
Yep. I think
he's got a tough schedule this year.
He's coming back. He's going to come back. In fact, I think he's going to come back for 2 more years. How about that one?
You can. All right. Drop a comment in the below. This is how YouTube works. You got a little comment thing. Yeah, cool. Drop yes or no, and let us know if you liked it. We got another one going on. Our time is kind of getting messed up.
Yeah, we have our weekly show going live in 8 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and end this one here. Thanks for everybody for tuning into this. We're going to get it posted to Facebook and some other places if we can. So hope you enjoyed it, and hope you enjoy the NFL season. Packers-Bears tonight.
In 8 minutes.
Go get them. Yep.
Bye.
Go get them.